Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. It's Belinda here from Visualized NZ. I've come up with this little idea just as I was thinking about recording the video for today, and I'm really keen to give it a go. I haven't made anything like this before. It's nothing complicated, it's quite simple, but I think it's going to be fun. I've picked up a number of close to my heart stamp sets this week from Facebook Marketplace, and I haven't had a chance to use any of them, and I was looking through them this morning and came across this one amongst the ones that I bought. I knew which ones I'd bought, but you know, just reacquainting myself because it's a few days since I picked them up. Is this fun month one? So it's got all the months on it in text. I don't know how well you can see that. Sorry if there's a glare from the acetate. Just take the foam off. Maybe you can see this a little bit better on the brown paper. And then it's got these little icons. And I just think that's super fun. So I'm going to play with these month stamps. And my idea is to kind of make little clustery things with the month on them. That can be, if you're a journaler, you can use them in your own journaling for a month, a heading, that sort of thing. You could pop it on a tag if you're sending it in Happy Mail, or if you make journals, then maybe you want to make up a little envelope or something and tuck them in, so all 12 months for the owner of the journal, whoever buys the journal, can have them to use when they journal in the journal. And how many times can I say journal in one sentence? So I also, when I picked up these stamps, the lovely lady had put them in a brown paper bag. And so I'm going to use that. It has already been pre-loved. I can tell just, you know, various things. And it's got some sellotape on it now from where she put the note to me on it. It's got some branding. It's all crumpled and crinkled, which I absolutely love. You know, it's already got a bit of character, and it's got an odd hole here and there, and I'm just making another hole because the sellotape doesn't want to peel off that part. So I thought, why not use this paper bag? I'm so grateful to her that she put it in a paper bag. I think that's just awesome. Right, so first up, I'm going to stamp the months on brown paper. I think this will be enough, but if it's not, I'll just grab another bit. So grab some stuff and craft along. Now, if you don't have month stamps like this, I've never had month stamps before this week, you could use any alphabet stamps and just stamp out the individual letters. Will work perfectly well. I could have done that too. I never thought of it. But, you know, that's something I might actually do as well. Not on this video. I think what I've got planned is going to take up plenty of time. Right, so I'm just going to stamp them, and I love the close to my heart stamps. They're always really nice quality. They always stamp beautifully. So bear with me because I am going to take the time just to give them a quick wipe down with a wet wipe. Oh, they're very sticky too. Like, once they're on the block, they stick well, and stick into my hand as well, actually, and stick into the stamp pad. So I'm going to give them a little bit of room. I'm not sure whether I'm going to cut or tear them out yet, and this is going to be the top layer, so maybe a bit back to front starting with the top layer, but I kind of need to, because this is going to dictate, you know, how big the other layers need to be, because obviously the other layers need to stick out, otherwise there's no point in doing. Now these aren't going to be a month order, I'm just peeling them off as they appear on the acetate, on the backing. So yeah, hope everyone's having a fantastic day and are doing something really fun and creative, or planning something fun and creative if you haven't got time at the moment. It's always good to, you know, if you haven't got time to create, then think about what you might want to create, or think about some things that you could do that don't take a lot of time, or perhaps, you know, you can do while you're out and about, or 5 minutes before bed. I know, it's really hard to stick to 5 minutes, isn't it? Once you get going, you just want to keep going. So perhaps not a good bedtime activity, unless it's something that you just want to quickly, like, do some fussy cutting or something. Sometimes we've just got to grab the moment and do it, because it makes our souls feel so much happier. So just stamping away here. Oops, perhaps I shouldn't rock it so much. I'm getting a little bit of blurring, and that's my fault, not the stamp's fault. Stamps are working perfectly. I think I'm rocking them too much and creating a blur, a shadow. But that's all right. I'm just playing, just having a play. So maybe I won't rock this time, or maybe just a tiny bit. Yeah, that was definitely a lot crisper, that one. So don't rock the stamps, girl. Just let them be. It's a beautiful font, this too. I really like scripty fonts. They very much appeal to me. Satisfying. Stamping is so relaxing. Do you find that? Do you enjoy stamping? I know this is not everybody's thing, but I find it really, just really nice, and I should do more of it. I used to do a lot more stamping when I was making cards, and actually I'm almost out of my stock of cards, and I sell them through a cafe, and they're almost out of stock of my cards. So I do actually need to have a card making session, but won't be until I'm properly back on my feet, because I need to get into rooms to grab supplies for that. So it's not going to be happening while I'm on crutches or in the wheelchair. And I'm not sending hubby to do it, because like he'd just get lost and frustrated because he doesn't know where anything is in my studio. So we'll just wait. We'll bide our time. We'll be a good girl. And just the time will come. I mean, we're certainly a lot further along to that time and place when I'm free to just do normal. I tell you what, you really underappreciate normal. You know, your normal life, your normal routine, just everyday things like even having a shower and that type of thing, until you can't do that for whatever reason. So it does give you, I've found in my experience over the last few weeks, it certainly gives you a deeper appreciation for just the everyday life. You know, when you're in the middle of it, you think, oh, I'm bored. You know, it can be boring, or it could be frustrating, or it could be whatever it might be. It might be too busy. It might be too hectic. But then suddenly you come to a point where it changes, and you're like, oh, I really wish for that boring, or that busyness, or whatever it is, that supermarket shopping that you wish you could do, or you know, having a shower by yourself without somebody there to do it for you. I mean, really, it's the small things in life that makes you appreciate those small things. But I do have to say, life is pretty good. The carer that I have come in and help me shower and do things like that, she's so lovely. Just we get on really, really well, and we have lots of laughs, say the word properly, and it's actually a lot of fun. You know, it kind of takes away from the weirdness of the, whoops, that's probably going to be blurred, that one, the weirdness of that sort of, yeah, I'll do that one again, weirdness of having someone up in your personal space. So I couldn't be more thrilled with the carer. She's just lovely. So it was being very well taken care of between the personal carer and my husband. So no complaints in this neck of the woods, apart from you know, I just want to be back to normal, or better than normal actually. It's what this game is about, is having the surgery is about actually getting back to a proper full life without pain, without, you know, the discomfort and pain and being restricted on what I can do because it causes pain. So it's going to be awesome, I tell you people, it's going to be awesome. Right, so I think we've got all 12. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Yes. We actually got 13, but one of them is too smudged because I moved it. Like a dilly, I moved it. Okay, so we can pop our stamps. What did I do? There we go. Just pop the protective foam on the back. Okay, and I think, so I did grab out some other stamp pads and things because I wasn't sure which way I was going to go with this, but I'll start with one that I did first because then it's going to be drier. I've been trying to tear one that might still be wet. I think I'm going to tear these because I just like that look. You could certainly cut them out, square cut them. You could use a paper trimmer, you could just use the scissors. You could tear them out with a ruler, whatever you like. Just going to loosely fussy tear. I'm not going to be too worried about whether they're even or not. Just as long as I don't run into one. And I'm not worried about scrunching the paper because it's already scrunched. And once you glue it down, most of those crinkles are going to come out anyway, unless you work to keep them there. I'm just taking the time to tear off any excess that I don't want because I want to layer them up, so I don't want them to end up like huge. Just nice little fun clusters to decorate with. Okay, I don't know why, but I've suddenly switched to going in month order. So do let me know what you think about this, whether it's something you're going to give a go. Maybe you're crafting along with me, which would be super awesome if you are. Let me know if you did craft along, or whether, you know, it's something you wouldn't do. I like to know that people are liking the content. It's very helpful and helps to guide me in future videos into what I might choose or not choose to video. I mean, most of the time I'm just doing whatever I'm inspired to do or whatever is on my table to do, whatever I need to do for whether it be a design team project or a journal commission or what have you. Which reminds me, I do need to finish off my Sweet Moments journal too. It's not finished. Yeah, but we'll get there. It's not far off finishing, so I just need to get that finished so I can pop it up on Etsy. I did want to put them on my website, but the website's not going to happen anytime soon, so I might as well just go ahead and list them on Etsy. And if they don't sell, well, eventually they'll end up on my website when I get my website done. If I get my website done. It's a big if. I started it. It's underway, but it's been months since I've looked at it. I must have already done August. Oh well, doesn't matter. They don't have to tear out in month order. Oops, can't see. So yeah, I don't think I've got anything else really to talk about today. We've been, did I do 2 Julys? No. We've been pretty much binge watching a program called Bosch, B-O-S-C-H. It's a crime drama about a detective named Bosch. We find it really good. And it's quite gritty in some respects, but yeah, quite good, quite well done. And there's like 7 seasons, and I think we're up to season 5, I think we're up to. So yeah, we've been watching a lot of that. What else? We watched Encanto, the animated Disney film. It's the second time we've watched it, but hubby felt in the mood to watch it again. And I just love, it's a great movie. If you haven't seen it, I do thoroughly recommend it. And there's that, you know, that beautiful feel-good moment towards the end where it's just like everything comes together, and it just makes you feel good. It made me smile. You know, even having seen it before, it just still made me smile. And I like the music in it. You know, the songs are always fun. I like the Disney movies for the songs. I know not everybody does. Some people find that very annoying, but I love it. So we watched that last weekend, I think. And I've just been going through and watching a few movies on YouTube as well. Bit hit and miss, I have to say. There's been multiple ones that I've started watching, and like within 5 minutes it's like, nope, this one is not worth my time. I've got the time, but it's not worth it. It's like boring, or it's badly done, or it's just not gripping me or interesting. So those go off very quickly, and I'm glad that you can delete stuff from your watch list so it doesn't keep reminding you you need to finish it, because there's no way I'm going to watch those films. But some films on YouTube are actually really good. I watched one called Pursued. I watched it yesterday. It's got Christian Slater in it. And he plays a really smarmy character. Like, this character is not nice. But it was a really good film. I actually really enjoyed it. It was a bit of the suspense, not so much on the mystery, sort of more thriller. But yeah, really good. So if you're at a loose end and you like a wee bit of a thriller, it's not a gory thriller or anything, then yeah, perhaps give it a go. So it's called Pursued, Pursued, and yeah, I quite enjoyed it. I thought it was not a bad film, and it was from 2004, so it's not a, you know, it's not a recent movie really, but not one I'd seen before. Right, so now we have all our months torn out. Now, did I do the one that just making sure? Yes, this one is the one that went wrong, so we'll get rid of that. Right, so I've got some book pages here, just a random assortment. I just basically emptied my bag of book page pieces. Onto my desk. And I'm just going to layer up with a bit of book page. Some of these I'll save for stamping on. And so I'm just going to choose, and I want them to be all over the place. I don't want them to be nice and neat. I want to keep it fun. Right, I am going to distress them though. So I might do this one and then put you on pause and distress the rest. I might do that, we'll see. Just so you're not sitting here watching me do a whole bunch of distressing. And it will give me a break from talking and finding things to talk about. Because sometimes it gets tough, you know, when you're recording videos and you feel like there's not a lot going on in your life, and, you know, I'm stuck at home not doing much. Sometimes I am running out of things to talk about lately. But again, I'm not complaining. It's just a fact, just a state of being for how things are right now. I'm not sure how many layers I want to do, so I probably need to have a wee think about that. So that little bit down, and oh, I've got glue on the front. That's all right, it will dry. And then I'm gonna probably need to invest in a vintage photo ink pad re-inker, I think, sometime shortly. It's still juicy enough at the moment, but at some point it's going to need more ink on it, so I probably need to just spend a few dollars on that. So even if I just left it like that, I think that's really kind of fun. So let's pop this so I don't get glue on the back of it. You know, imagine it on a page or on a spread of some description, on even on the cover of your journal. For if you're a monthly journaler, you could put that on the front as your heading essentially. And you could do, if you've got numbers, you could stamp a number as well and do a year. Or you could even do the date. So like if it's the 12th of September, you could stamp a 12 and have that on the cluster, or do a second cluster. All the ideas are firing now. So much fun when these ideas just keep coming at you, and it's like, you could do this or you could do that. The other thing I thought with these was how it's got these little icons here, these smaller stamps. So we've got music, little presents, snow, snowflake, cloud, rain, rainbow, etc. Leaf, you know, little Christmas tree here. Is you could use one of those on the cluster as well. So I'm not going to do that. So if you're selling a journal, it could be a bit tricky if you like put a so for us, September here is spring. So if I put a spring flower, that might not work for another country where it's not spring. So just keep that in mind if you do these. If they're for yourself, then obviously you do them according to where you live. But if you're doing them to go into a journal you're selling, just bear in mind that it might end up anywhere. If you only sell like in the States, then sure, go ahead and do it to suit the States. But if you sell internationally, you might just want to have a think about whether you want to go a little more generic than specific on the weather type things. Right, I hope that all made sense and that I wasn't just rattling off. Okay, so what I might do is pop you on pause just for a few minutes while I distress around all these months to save you that, you know, being bored by that, and then I'll pop back and we'll continue on. So be back just in a moment. Okay, I am back and I have distressed around all the words. And so I think what I'm going to do now is kind of go through and in mass making style glue these all down onto a bit of book page, and then I'll tear them out and then distress around those. Again, I might pause you for that, we'll see. So I'm just going to put a few on this one. Oh, we don't really want the word noxious, do we? I think I like this better over here. So maybe just two on that one. I'm trying to avoid words, and there were quite a few I didn't want on this, like noxious, nude, nullify, numb. Just kind of weren't giving me the right sort of happy vibes. So I'm just going to tear that in half so I remember that there's two words on that. Let's put another one on this. Oops. Go. And I think I'll leave it at that. There's some words down the bottom I like threatening. We don't want threatening, do we? Here we go, bit of this. Does pay to keep an eye on what's on your book page. We might fit another small one up in the top corner. And the bits that I tear off, most of them will be usable for other collages, so it won't be wasted. Okay, here's a fun bit of a stamp magazine with fun advertisements and classified listings. So that'll make a fun background, fun layer. Ooh, sticking to my finger and getting a bit gluey here. And I've worked out what I want to do for the next layer on these. So the bottom layer, I'm just going to go with 3. You could do as many as you like, you know, whatever suits you. You could only just do 1 layer, you know, not have them as little clusters, just do them as wee labels. There's lots of ways you could do this to make them fun and to suit your style. Here's some really nice small text. Now, I just had a thought. My thoughts on how I'm going to do the bottom layer, I just had a moment of thinking, is it going to work? Well, we shall see. Oops, sorry about that. That was quite loud, wasn't it? Didn't want to rip off for me. And one last one, we'll use up this little offcut. So I'm going to have to be careful tearing around these ones where I haven't got a lot of room. Okay, so put some stuff aside, get rid of this gluey page. And let's start tearing. It's a little bit gluey on the back where I originally was going to stick it on the other side. But it will dry. It'll be fine. I'm getting a pile of scraps. I just don't want it quite so pointy there. Soften that a little bit. Oh, come off my finger. And I'm trying not to tear like around the same shape. I don't want it the same shape. You could though, if that's what you preferred, you could totally do it that way. They can go in the bin. Now I like it when it goes closer in some points and further out in others. I just think it makes it more interesting that way. Yeah, I quite like the shape of that one. Some of these smaller scraps I am just getting rid of. They're a bit borderline. I could probably save them, but you know what? I've got lots of book pages to use, and I'll never get through them if I'm just worrying about the smallest of scraps. Right. Getting there, people. Hopefully you're being occupied with something as you're listening or watching, doing some crafting, doing the dishes, I don't know, whatever you typically do when you've got a video on. I know not everybody just sits with their eyes glued to the screen to watch a video. I've been doing that a lot because I've not got a lot of other option at the moment. Right, I want to retain this because this is going to be great for stamping on. So that's definitely a great stamping strip, and this bit alongside as well will be good. Keep those. And then this bit is a, you know, reasonable size for collage still. Right, 3 more to go. Oh, no, I lied. Well, I didn't lie. I just didn't see this one stuck under the other one. Oops, I didn't leave a lot of text under that one. I could have put it up a bit higher, I think. Got a little bit of blank space, but it's okay. I'm going to distress around it, so it's not going to be a big deal. Take off that leggy bit and keep the bigger bit. Okay, now we've got 3 more to go. Oops, that one's all jiggity jiggity, which is fun. So yeah, as I'm doing this, I'm trying to think if there's anything else I need to catch you up on. Not that there's a need, but, you know, want to catch you up on. Drawing a blank, to be honest. Yeah, what else is going on? Hubby's work is having a shared lunch today for Matariki, which is a Maori New Year essentially, and it's a public holiday here in New Zealand tomorrow. So his work are having a shared lunch. So tomorrow is Friday. I'm putting this video up on Friday, but I'm recording on Thursday. So they're having a shared lunch today, being Thursday. So yesterday cooked up a big chook for him to take along as his contribution towards the lunch. So he left a little bit at home for me for my lunch, which I'm really looking forward to actually. And considering it's now 12:20, my tummy is starting to say, are you going to feed me anytime soon? Yeah, when I'm ready. When I'm done here. Right, so I am going to pop you on pause. I'm going to ink around these and then we'll come back for the final step. See you in a moment. And I'm back again. So they're all inked around, and while I had you on pause, I just thought I'd better test the next stage to see whether it was going to work, because I'm using this really open weave bandage which I brought home from the hospital. And I was like, how am I going to glue that without the glue all coming through? And so I just tested it using just my regular tacky glue, so like a PVA but slightly tackier. And I think it's going to be fine because it's super lightweight, so it's not heavy. And if you don't press it down, don't put too much glue on and don't press it super hard, then the glue's not really seeping through that much. So I think that will be fine. So if you don't have bandage, because I imagine it's not something people have a lot of hanging around unless you happen to work at a hospital or something like that, but cheesecloth, or if you don't have that, hessian, any type of hessian, sacking, or just fabric, whatever fabric you like, or even some organza ribbon, or you know, just go wild. The problem with this stuff is it does, you know, shed bits off, but that's okay, we can deal with that. So I just thought, doesn't that look fun, just with that bit of texture behind it? I think that's really fun. So I just put some glue on the back. Oops, trying to control the lid there. This is a new bottle, so its little cap hasn't been trained to go under my fingers yet, so it's wanting to get in the way. So a bit of glue and then just pop it down wherever you like. And there we go, we have a fun little embellishment for a journal page, or pop them in a little envelope or a pocket or something for a journal owner to use. I think they look beautiful. I'm really happy with those, and really fun to use this bandage. And as I was kind of inking around the edges, I was thinking this would have been a really good Trash Craft Tuesday project. And I was like, oh, should I keep it and play it on Tuesday? But I haven't, you know, haven't done any of the language of Trash Craft Tuesday or anything. So no, you're just getting a bonus trashy video. So I'm just cutting off randomly bits and hoping that they're the right size. But even if it doesn't cover the whole thing, this one's a bit big to show you what I mean if it doesn't cover the whole thing. So let's just get rid of all these little bits that want to come off first. It doesn't need to come out on all sides. You could just have a little bit poking out. So we'll do some like that as well. Puss has come in. He's ready for his lunch. You have to wait a bit, Puss. Mummy's busy. Right, let's do one that doesn't cover the whole thing. Oops, got a bit of hair in there. That's my hair. Right, let's do a small bit. I mean, it does stretch, so if you cut it too small, you could always pull it out further. Like that. Yeah, that's fun too. I like that. Get rid of these bits. I'm not going to worry about whether I put glue where the bandage isn't going, because it will dry and it's on the back, so you know, once it's glued onto something, once it's been used, it won't be a big deal. There we go. Oops, pulled it. Like, see, I've got glue on the ends here, but it doesn't bother me. It's not going to be an issue. And while it's drying on my desk, the little layer of bandage should be enough to keep it up off my mat, so it doesn't glue itself to my mat. Right. Just having fun. And I love how raggedy some of these edges are. I think they look really cool. And don't need to put the fabric straight. Being on a bit of an angle is another way to make it a bit fun. Vary the look a little bit. Just play around. I just think this is a wonderful crafting material. A very kind nurse that gave me a roll is just the best. And it's the same nurse that gave me the roll of bandage that I had take my last cast off and put me in a moon boot. So it was lovely to see her. She's Romanian, so she's got this lovely accent, which is fun. Right, that's quite a square piece, isn't it? Which is fine. I mean, I could cut all the bandage. I could trim that down a little bit, but I'm just going to leave it. I can always trim it when I go to use it. Or if, you know, if I'm popping it in a journal, I can give it a wee haircut. Oops, that's pulling a thread, and it's one that goes right through. It's not a loose one. Oops, Puss has gone back out. He's given up waiting for lunch. Oh well. Can't be too hungry then, can he? I like actually how that curls up a little bit over top. That's fun too. A little bit different. And I love the look of these. I think they're very nice and vintagey. But I did think about doing some more brighter fun ones. You know, a different look. So if you'd like to see me do a different style of these, let me know in comments, and I'll be more than happy to give that a whirl as well. But you've probably got the process down now. You know, you can see what I'm doing, and you can see see ways of viewing it for yourself. But if you would like to see me do it on video, then yeah, more than happy to, if you just let me know that you wouldn't mind seeing that. Because otherwise I'll probably assume that, you know, I've done that. People don't want to see just a variation. Who knows, it might spark other ideas in me that how to put that the other way around. Other variations might spring to mind if you guys want to see more. A little bit curly, but they will flatten out fine. Right, we've got 3 more to do, and this time it is 3. I can see there's just 3 there. This stuff is not terrible. I just realized what I said then. What I meant was it's not able to be torn. And yes, it's not terrible. It is great. It's fun stuff. It's not terrible at all in both spellings and meanings. Right. So not big globs of glue, just fine little lines of glue is what I'm putting on. Got the wee fine nozzle. Oh, I just think these look so cool. What do you think? Let me know. What do you think? Oh, I've got this little bit. Can I pop that just... Yeah, just like that. Let's do it on one end. Might as well use the scrap instead of having it run around my desk for however long. So it's just got a little bit poking out. See, you don't even need a lot of stuff. You can just have a little bit poking out and it's still fun, still looks good. Right, we're down to our last one. Oh, I almost didn't see this bit sitting there. Let's use it up. Perfect. Just made for it. Right, and we are done. So we've made 12 embellishments. That was hard to work out, wasn't it? 12 embellishments, because there's 12 months of the year. And I've got all little bandage sort of fragments hanging around my desk. That's fine. I'll clean those up later. So let's lay them out so you can get a good look, not in any particular order, at what we did for this video. Aren't they fun? Oh, I'm so happy with these. I think they look really cool. Really vintagey, very textural. Yeah, just love them. I think they are cool. Let me know what you think in the comments. I'd love to hear from you, even if it's just to say hi, watched your video, or hi. Just hi. That's good. I'll say hi back. So thanks so much for being here to watch this. I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope it's given you some ideas on what you might be able to do. Take care, everybody. Have a beautiful weekend. And I'll see you back for Deal It Up Challenge. Week 36, I think we're up to next week. Gee, fun. Okay. I will see you then. Bye for now.